Welcome to Oasis, Tribe with the Vibes, where we lift up the spirit and open our mind. Wellness, reflection, empowerment, joy, healing together. Your soul will enjoy. Hosted by Netter, let the journey begin. Authentic on the vibes, bringing light from within.
Welcome to our Building Bridges, Healing Beyond Trauma and Patterns episode, where you're going to get strategies for getting over obstacles and adversities, raise awareness about the mental health and addiction to love. I didn't even think about that, okay? Tools for growing, healing in community and for the community, and of course, links and purchases places where you can get those books and that planner. Because we don't just want to share tools with you without giving you an opportunity to know where you can get them. We've already saged the space, but we have to do our mindful minute. So, try your mindful minute starts now. Welcome, Tribe, and thank you, Reesie, for coming, and thank you, Tribe, for joining us for Building Bridges, Healing Beyond Trauma and Patterns. Again, we are with Reesie Wheatley, an inspiring author, designer, and entrepreneur. I mean, look at what she has on. It's beautiful.
It's cute.
You ate when you were walking in. I wanted to be like, Vogue, 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 Vogue. But I wanted to keep it a little professional, even though we do have a personal relationship. I did want to keep it classy, keep it together. But you look fantabulous, and I am so honored to have you here in this space with myself and authentic. Feels so good to have you here, OTWV, because we've been talking about it for some time, and now we are in February. We're in Black History Month, okay? And we have to rep, and I just love the Black excellence in this room, and you embodied it walking in.
Thank you.
So
Thank
hair
you.
slays, face on
T.
T.
I was like, okay, yes,
Yes.
outfit.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about some heavy things. Again, we've already saged the space, we've already blessed the space. So if you haven't done that for yourself, make sure that you do so. And also, I want to give a disclaimer that we're going to talk about some heavy things. So listen and view at your own discretion. However, we're going to start on a lighter note. Thank you for coming. We're so glad that you're here. And I know I'm going to keep saying that over and over again because to think that our relationship started in the classroom
Yes.
and here we are here in this space together speaks volumes to me, and I don't take that lightly at all. I do appreciate cultivating relationships. Is very important to not just build them but to maintain them, so we can honestly say that we've been in each other's life for like over a decade now. And that is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
I've seen your children grow
Yes.
into beautiful adults and well-rounded human beings, because that's what you hope for.
Yes.
Someone who can sustain themselves as an adult, and you've done that. And they were somewhat embodying that as young people in seventh grade, to be honest.
Okay.
Especially, the one closest to my heart.
Yeah.
We love you. To me, she has always been a mirror of myself, and she's an old soul. She's
Physically,
very
too.
wise, and I know that has come from you carrying her. So thank you for
Yes.
carrying my. Oh my God, child! Thank you for carrying her for me.
Amen. And you guys look alike. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was a blessing from the guys for that. Yeah, really was. Tell us first where folks can find you, what you're doing out here. That's where I want to start because they don't know you like I do. And I know that your story is a powerful one. So wherever you want to start, feel free to do so. But tell them who you are and what brings you here with us today.
Wow. Well, as she was saying, I am Doreetha Reesie Wheatley, and I am a mother first, author, entrepreneur, former dressmaker, so I'm a designer and sewing instructor. No disclaimer there. So
What if someone like myself wanted you to make a piece? You saying
for
formal
my
like you would never
family
do it
and friends,
again.
I make exceptions, and if the spirit tugs at my heart, I'll make another exception. But for
Thank
the
you.
most part, I enjoy teaching to the community, and that's where I had to balance out my strengths and weaknesses and things of that nature. I love helping people, and it wasn't really helping me. So I found a way to partner with the community to teach sewing, so it's free to the community, and then I can still, eat.
Amen.
And so, if people are looking to follow me, whether it's an author or entrepreneur, sewing instructor, they can find me on social media under RP Couture, Woman Gym, my soon to be full blown publishing company, because my love for writing came from my spirituality and my sisterhood and me wanting to help others to heal. So I created a platform for not only women, although it's called Woman Gym, but for individuals in general to heal from past hurts and trauma, which also led me to being a trauma healing facilitator. So I'm in training at the moment, and that will be something that's also offered through Woman Gym. So, yeah, Woman Gym, God gave me 168, 12 steps to recovery from infidelity. If you Google any of those things, it'll lead you back to Doreetha.
Yes. You okay. You dropped so much that you're doing in the community. What drew you to that? What made you say, I want to be this person?
100% transparent. One of my mentors told me, he said, "You're just a hoe." I said, "What?" And I laughed. And he said, "Because you're just giving it all out for free. You're giving it all out for free." And although I had my own business location and I felt like I was doing well, I was falling asleep on dresses. The bills were getting paid. I had enough for me and maybe a little bit for someone else. But at the end of the day, I was a hoe. And I didn't want to be on that path. I wanted to boss up. I wanted
Yes.
to do things differently, but my heart still wanted to help people. So I was praying, and the Spirit spoke to me and said I was a slave. And I was like, I'm a hoe and a slave? Like, come on, like, give me a break, right? And
Talk
so,
about the healing that needs to happen. You have to face the truth
yes,
first.
exactly. And some people say that, oh, well, God doesn't speak to you like that. God will meet you where you are.
Yes.
And so I needed to hear that because it sounds a little harsh. And coming from a background of like emotional, verbal abuse and different things like that, that harshness was like a kickback to the past, right? So it's like it caught my attention. Like, what do you mean? And so I kept working as a slave, right? And eventually I got sick and I had to close the doors to my hub. I had 7,500 square feet, 11 rooms on the southeast side of Chicago, and I did not understand it, and I was fighting to keep it because we invested a lot into it.
Yes.
But God will whisper to you and tap you on the shoulder, shake you, and then I said, okay, let me intervene. Boom, I'm shutting you down. And so when I got shut down, I had to pivot.
Yeah.
So I started teaching for After School Matters to the teens. Fell in love with the process. I've always been teaching, but I fell in love with that process so much that I saw myself really doing this. So adults started asking, and I was like, well, I teach teens, but then it's like, well, why not?
Right. It's the teens in us that need it too.
Exactly.
Just like Christina Montgomery's episode. Okay. Teen spirit on purpose.
You gotta heal your teen spirit.
And that's just where it started. It just moved on to adults, and then it moved on to seniors. And I prayed for wisdom, because someone said, if you could have anything you want, you could ask God, give it to you, what would it be? And I'm like, or my mom to be healed, or for me to have riches, or my kids to be. And I went down this whole list of things in my head, and then it came to me, I was like, wisdom. Because wisdom will teach you how to make money. Wisdom will teach you how to be healthy. Just wisdom, what they say is a principal thing.
Absolutely.
And so I prayed for wisdom, and from there, God just showed me ways to be able to help others and also eat. So I started contracting with community organizations to teach sewing.
So much. We have so much to dive into just that answer alone. But we've been talking about the metaphor of building bridges of healing. How is that applicable to your life?
I'm thinking about like the children of Israel, trying to get to the promised land. And as a young girl, I had all of these prophecies of who they saw me to be in the future, but my struggle being the opposite of what was spoken over my life. And I didn't understand it. So it's always been a journey to the other side. And so one day I was just sitting and I'm thinking how people always tell you need to get over things, but they never tell you how. I'm like, if we knew how to get over it, then we would just be over it.
Yes.
Who wants to suffer? Who wants to struggle? So I'm like, well, maybe someone needs to write about the how. And then I thought about how to get to the other side. Well, how do you get to the other side? Well, usually you need a bridge of some sort, because we're going over troubled waters, right? So we can't swim through those waters. They can overtake us. So we need a bridge. And who better to build a bridge than you? You know what you need to help you get to the other side. And so that's how it helped me.
Yeah.
Just thinking about how I wanted to get over to the other side, where that's flowing with milk and honey.
Yes.
And so, basically that was it for me.
What strategies did you use? What did you build your bridge out of? I mean, give us literally okay. I am building my bridge of there to 2026 and beyond. I feel as though my friends and I, which you've seen it in our manifestation episode, we've been really working hard to see our visions in action. That's one way to build the bridge. What are some other ways that you have used or to be true in helping build that bridge of healing?
I think about building bridges in general, and the foundational things, like having a strong foundation. And what that looks like to me is having a tribe, right? Having a sisterhood. I call them my kindred spirits, that can support you and remind you of when your foundation a little weak, right? Like you need to be strengthened in this area because you're going to fall. Things are going to things are going to collapse around you if you don't get strengthened in this area. And my 30 plus, right? They're quick to say, "Hey, sis, I hear what you're saying, and I know where your heart is, but we've been here before. Are you sure that's what you want to do? I got you. Either way, I got you, but are you sure that's what you want to do?"
Little
Because
hands up, little.
exactly,
We need accountability. We need
accountability
that.
partners. And I meet so many women that pour into me. I pour into them. They pour reciprocated.
Absolutely.
Like we got to have reciprocal relations.
Yes, we
relationships.
have to have
We have
reciprocal
to.
relationships.
Number one.
I was
Absolutely.
beware of takers.
Energy suckers.
Exactly.
Spirit vampires.
Absolutely.
What they say, give and it shall be given.
Yes.
And if
Push
you're in a
down.
relationship and you're just giving, and no one's giving back, then something is wrong, right?
Something is wrong.
So building that bridge looks like having a support system, right? I had these little small packs I gave away with the book. There was like little planks of wood, the little popsicle sticks. They had wire. pen, journal. Naturally, you do need metal. You need wood
Absolutely.
or whatever you're going to use. But when you're looking at it in a spiritual sense, or like applying it to our struggles, then it would be your friends, your family,
Core values.
values, financial literacy, because of
Absolutely.
foolishness, riches will soon depart. Like, God can give you what you asking for, but if you're not prepared, mind, body, and soul to receive it,
Right.
so you
No.
have to just prepare yourself in all areas, and then you just put together and you build upon it, and then you cross over.
Absolutely. I love that. And you spoke of practical things that you give with the book. So practical matters do matter. So make sure your home life is good. See your doctors. Make sure your body is good. We love to say how we want to change our lives and change our minds and heal our bodies, but we're still putting terrible things in our bodies, or we haven't seen our doctor.
All right.
What, school physicals? I'm trying to think of when you're really required to see your practitioner for work, because oftentimes you're not required to see a practitioner to do your job, and therefore if you don't need to see anyone, you won't go. And as people of color, we fear the doctors for rightful reasons.
Yeah.
For valid reasons, but that does not mean you don't go see somebody.
Right.
You have to believe that you'll get sent someone who's just right for you. I love every single practitioner I have. Right? I enjoy seeing my dentist. We giggle, baby. Please get in there. Tell me.
Right.
And so, I think that if we align ourselves with having good doctors who hear us, who understand us, who want to see us better, who want to see all of their clients better, who really have a good heart for humanity, then you should see someone. And I don't know why I'm stressing this so much. Somebody out there needs to hear. You need to go see your doctor. Make sure your body is right.
And be obedient, like to the spirit and to your body. I remember an instance where I was in Bob's Furniture with my daughter, with my oldest daughter, and my head was hurting so bad, and I was like, "Oh Lord, please don't let me die in here." At first thing I'm thinking is aneurysm or something.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. I'm in the middle of the store. I said, "I have to sit down. I'm not feeling good." And I sat down, and the spirit say, "Loosen your head wrap." I loosened my head wrap. Headache went away instantly.
Wow.
And then I heard, your miracle is in your obedience. We praying to be healthy, right? Like, oh God, help me, I'm sick. And he's saying, eat this, go over here and exercise, do this. And we're not being obedient. So now we're praying for a miracle that we already got.
Yes.
Because he said we're already healed.
Yeah.
And we have to walk in that. And the only way to do it is to listen and obey.
And get out your comfort zone. You have to be willing to say yes to the thing that feels uncomfortable over and 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 over. And it's not just one time. That's what I'm learning doing this. It's not just one time.
Yeah.
It's every time you take that leap of faith. It's every time you say you're going to be different. You're going to change your mind, change your heart, metanoia. If you want your brain to be transformed, you have to be willing to do the thing opposite of what you would always do.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you sharing that moment where you had to, listen to the divine, because I had that just recently as well. You all have seen me. I usually wear my hair in 2 braids. And here I am praying like, I want my hair to be longer. And my hair was like, let me free for a little bit, because I can't handle being these braids all the time. And literally the middle part of my hair, where the split is, was the most sensitive. So when I unraveled it, it felt like I had let my curls free. It was like, and I felt it all through it started in my neck and my spine, and I feel the release all over my body. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, hair. I'm so sorry, scalp. I'm going to give you a break for however long you need a break, because I do love my my Pocahontas
It's that
braids.
wisdom. Like, it's already in you. It's already in you. We know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, we have to be uncomfortable. Like I say, I used to always say that when you're uncomfortable, what's the first thing you do? You shift for better positioning, right? So if you're uncomfortable, you gotta move around. You gotta do something different.
Yeah.
Right?
You'd be surprised, even like just thinking about Netta's hair reference. Like I had a loctician, and at first I was doing my own hair, and then I got somebody, and then it was just little small things kept coming up, and I'm like, I gotta let this go. And then I felt like my hair wasn't growing versus when I was doing it myself, and I'm like, I don't even have all the professional stuff she got, and my hair's not growing with you. As soon as I cut her off, my hair growing. Even cutting off people, you see how your life, once you sever that tie and you go to the next thing, it's just phew. You, when I say sever, I mean factory reset, block, delete, everything. Like the instantaneous abundance that comes after God ordains cut off is
the severing is
If
real.
you've been craving peace, clarity, and a little more you time, this is your sign. Synergy Oasis is where wellness meets intention. Holistic Core is our way of helping you align your mind, nurture your body, and protect your energy, one ritual at a time. From empowering decks to reflective journals, that feels like a deep exhale. Plus, stay tuned with our wellness podcast, Oasis Try with Vibes, where healing is real and growth is a lifestyle. Shop Synergy Oasis Holistic Core or subscribe to our meditations on Substack. Together, we grow and thrive. Find out more at synergyoasis4au.com.
The severing is real and it's meant to happen. Yes.
Clean cut and some reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of which, who are you becoming now? You've shared a few nuggets about who you've been and what you're doing. Who are you becoming?
Me.
Yes.
Me.
Yes. No, I say yes as at like.
Right.
Yeah, I say yes to everyone's to listen. I'm with you. I'm the cheerleader for sure.
Yeah.
And I love that because there's so much possibility in that. And before, I was all for limiting myself into or pigeonholing myself into these positions or certain roles. And now I'm just, me. Whoever me ends up being.
Yeah.
And whatever me wants to do that day.
Yeah, and embracing that. And it's like, it's okay. And it's, Felicity used to say it to me all the time. Self-care is not selfish, Mom. Self-care is not selfish. And I'm like, wow, because I would feel guilty for focusing on me or doing what do Reesie want? I don't even know. Like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? I don't know. Sleep, work, the norm. And I really had to dig deep and be like, hey, well, first of all, who am I? Right?
Part.
And I can't become, like, even when I went natural, that was a serious transition for me. And I was like, I did the big chop. Like, I have a picture of me look like my hair probably about an inch and a half long. Yeah. And I looked sad on the picture, but after about 2 weeks, I was smiling. I learned how to work with that new hair and put a little face on. And I was like, this is me, and embracing that, regardless of what anybody else think or I like your hair better this way. We change our hair like we change our clothes.
Yes, we do.
We entitled, right?
Yes.
And so just being able to embrace that in its totality, like every part of me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is who I am.
Yes.
And that God is perfecting me daily. And so, I'm becoming me. The person that I discovered, the person that I'm falling in love with, the person that I accept. That's who I'm becoming.
She said the person she's falling in love with. That is so in line with Valentine's Day. So if you haven't seen our Valentine's Day episode with Kia Smith, please make sure that you see that. And also continue to love on yourself outside of February, outside of a designated month or time. Unless you feel like it's your personal holiday. Do you. But make sure that you love on yourself, because I've always said this, YOLO. And this was before Drake was saying it. Yeah, I was always saying you only live once.
Yes.
Why am I like, I'm not committed to anything because I only live what no. So I enjoyed, skydiving, or people was like, oh, you're crazy. I'm only gonna live one time. I'm about to do everything on this list. And I still want to do.
I think even thinking about like when it's like a yes or no thing, or you want to go do something or ask somebody something, it's either you're gonna be in the same position you are, or you're gonna be better off. You're not gonna be. It's not gonna subtract from what you have.
Yes.
So it's like, why not do it?
Yes.
Versus not do it. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
All three of your books talk about growth and healing. What inspired you to write them? If you want to get a little deep with us, you can. For all ears to hear about it.
My first book, I thought the name of it was going to be The Effectual Weight. And I've been journaling and writing since the 4th grade when my teachers forced me to write a poem. I still remember that poem. I was screaming and kicking. I didn't want to do it. I was such a rebellious child. I was so rebellious. And they would laugh, Miss Lewis and Miss Balfour. And I couldn't stand them. But they saw something in me. And I didn't realize this until later. And I realized that they actually cared for me because when my mom got cancer, Miss Lewis took me to the hospital to see my mom. She said something was wrong, something was off. But they forced me to write this poem. It was called Working, ironically, right? Working. And been writing ever since. And so I have been journaling my whole life, and I started going through some things in my marriage. And I was sweeping, and I heard the Spirit say, shh. And I'm looking around like, wait a minute, I'm the only one here, you know. Exactly, right? So
I have those experiences.
I hear and they say, are you listening? And I'm like to myself, like, yeah. Look scared, but I'm listening.
Yes.
And just heard, I love you. And tears just started to fall down my face. And I was crying and crying. And then I heard the Spirit say, write. And so I was writing. And then God was dealing with me with this ministry I wrote for in His Grip Ministries. And she gave me the single plan. I was like, the single plan? Honey, I am married. Why do you want me to be over that part of the ministry, the single plan? And then God spoke to me and said, oneness with me, right? And so I started writing about falling in love with Jesus, that oneness with God, because my focus had been other people, whether it was my children or my mother or my husband, and loving people to the point where I wasn't loving myself or loving God, but not realizing it, I'm just writing. So every time I thought I was about to write a book, say wait for the intended results to be produced. That's the effectual wait. I had the little cover and the flowers and everything. This is the cover of the book. Didn't happen, right? So when I started dealing with infidelity in my marriage, the root of the infidelity was just like this, the subtitle says, when you need to be saved from yourself. I did not love myself properly. I was not loving God properly. I was not loving that man properly. And when I couldn't take it anymore, I literally was in my room crying. And on the back of the book, it said, I blew into the very heavens. You know, I blew him into the heavens because I couldn't handle it anymore. And I felt like it was the death of my love. And so I wrote the 12 Steps to Recovery from Infidelity. And it wasn't a tell-all book. People thought, oh, that's not your story. Well, what you thought you was getting? Because I'm writing.
Yeah.
And every time I began to write something negative or write about one of the women or delete. This ain't about them. This is about you. The 12 Steps to Recovery.
Your 12.
Yeah.
Yes.
My 12 step, I walk myself through 12 step program because I was addicted to love, but in the wrong way. And so the first step to recovery is admitting there was a problem. What was the problem? Why are you accepting this infidelity? What happened in your life?
Yes.
Where you felt like you had to fight through this or accept this. So I had to go back. Go back into my childhood, and I began to write about it. So each chapter was basically the 12-step program, but just how infidelity was affecting me and how God wanted me to deal with it. And it was all about a closer walk with God because I was committing spiritual adultery. And so How to Build a Bridge and Get Over It came because one of my 30 plus, one of my girlfriends, we were talking about the how.
Yeah,
And we just did a whole list of things that people have to get over. Like, it's so much people need to get over. And I was like, ooh, those sound like chapters. And I was like, I'm always trying to pass it out. Because, I didn't want to write in the 4th grade. So I'm always trying to pass the book off to somebody else. And so I didn't want to write all those chapters. So I'm like, you want to write this book with me? So I have a list of all of these books that I want to write. But it just became an opportunity to write because I was meeting so many women that were struggling to get over some things. And then I would say, hey, would you like to write a chapter? Actually, let me back up. I did an anthology project. I'm not going to say the name of the anthology project that I did. It was not the best experience. And I cried. I cried and I said, God, if you would allow me to do one, I would do it right. And so I began to ask people if they wanted to do a chapter. And it worked out. It ended up being 7 of us. And the chapters were amazing. How to build a bridge and get over fear, self-abandonment, rape, sexual assault, unforgiveness, spiritual adultery. There's like so many chapters that are relatable to so many people. Yes. And it helped them. And although they hadn't completely arrived, they knew the fundamentals. They knew the foundational things that they needed to do to start getting to the other side. And so that's how to Build a Bridge and Get Over It came about. The guy gave me 168 is a method that was given to me when I was doing writer's block.
Yes, because I am experiencing writer's block right now.
So writer's block was the block we sit on to write. And it was a creative space I allowed people to come to at my hub for a couple of hours to get away from the noise. We would have music, tea. We would learn our writing styles. We would come up and do a little speaking because, writing leads to public speaking. And we was just embracing all of that. And we would just take 2 hours. And people say, well, I want to write, but I don't have the time. And I was like, wait a minute, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 168 hours. God gave all of us 168 hours. Why do everybody say I don't have 2 hours to write if you feel like it's something you're supposed to be doing? So I created a chart where everybody had to write their time down. Like, what are you doing?
Every minute of the day.
Every hour of the day, what are you doing? And it's not a planner. It says a daily planner, but it's more of a time reallocation tool. So once you see where your time is going, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, oh, eat, I slept for 8 hours, travel to work, whatever. I had 38 hours left. And I'm like, I can't take 2 hours out of 38 I had left to do what God told me to do. And so when you get to see your time and also see where you're kind of wasting your time or putting too much time, right? You can take that time and put it to more purposeful use. So I had a girlfriend I talked to every morning for about an hour and a half. Every morning we would call. And I didn't mind. And Felicia was like, you just spend too much time. It's my little boss, right? My mama.
She got nerve.
And you spend too much. I was like, it doesn't bother me. Like, we pour into each other. But when I realized, I was like, that was like 10 hours or so gone every week. So when I said, well, maybe we'll talk once a week, that give me about 8 hours that I could reallocate. And so instead of getting up and talking to her every day, I get up and I journal or I write a chapter of the book, right? So I got that time back. And so that's what God gave me 168 is about. And it started with people saying they didn't have time to write.
I need to reallocate my time for the chosen one. I do, and I can't wait to show you my storyboard after this, so you can see where I have been diving my time into this. But I do need to make that a priority in 2026 for sure, so that the publishing of it is just in time.
Yes.
So it is aligning.
I had this belief system. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
About timing. And scholars may say, no, Bible scholars, like, no, that's not how it works. But I believe that things are going to happen when they're supposed to happen, right? Because there are systems put in place. So I was thinking about the children of Israel in the Red Sea and Pharaoh, right? And the scriptures say that God holds the heart of man in his hand and he turns it whichever way he pleases. And so at one point it kind of seemed like Pharaoh was like bipolar, like, oh, go after him. No, wait, no, go after him. And I was like, wait. And so there was a turning taking place because something had to be accomplished. And now this came to me because when I was going through with my husband, I literally saw like what would appear to be the image of Jesus standing next to him with his heart in his hand and turning his heart. And I cried because God was turning my husband's heart away from me to accomplish something within me, right? And so when I think about God turning Pharaoh's heart so that the children of Israel could arrive to the Red Sea at a certain point, right? And Pharaoh going to arrive at a certain point, right? So they had to go by dry land.
Yes.
There are certain occurrences that happen naturally in the earth. My thing was maybe the Red Sea opened up and closed at a certain time every year, right? Maybe, just maybe.
Like a 50th.
If you, it just opened. This is
Every
the time that it
5,000
happened,
years
or
or
whatever,
something,
right?
yeah.
And so, hey, this is the time I need them to be there because this occurrence is going to happen that people don't really understand. And it happened. It happens for so long. They was able to pass through, but when Pharaoh got there,
Absolutely.
that's
No,
it.
He missed
But
it.
he had to. And in order for him to get there at a different time than the ones who's supposed to go over, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Some things had to take place. So I have little weird thought processes like that, but we have to do what we're supposed to do
Yeah.
at the designated time.
The designated time.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just knowing when that designated time is. Is it when you feel that inspiration or?
That goes to, there was a question about where I am, like I'm in alignment, like my preparation phase. I feel like we know when we're being prepared for something. We may not know exactly like what the end result is going to be, but in that preparation phase, we're going to get instructions, right? And a natural example, Macy's. I always felt like I was going to have designs in Macy's, and they had a program, and I was probably in my 20s or so. The Macy's incubator program on State Street, and the spirit say, put $3,000 to the side. I got my income tax check. Put $3,000 to the side, and I'm like, okay, preparation, right? Obedience, preparation. Didn't know why, but I had to do it. I did it. Put it to the side. Found out about the Macy's program, $250 a month for a year.
That was basically what you.
That's
put
the
to
money
side.
that I was told to put to the side. And so it would have been a 12-month program, and then I submitted a lookbook and a business plan. But the spirit also spoke and said, work on your business plan.
Yeah.
I didn't. And so when I found out I needed a business plan, I rushed it together, right? And I submitted. And they said, we love your designs, but your business plan needs work. And they rejected me, right? But they kept my lookbook. Make it make sense, right? But again, about preparation, when do you know? You may not know the exact time, but if you're obedient and you take the necessary steps to get where you're supposed to be going, it's going to be at the appointed time. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. We don't have to know the time. We just have to be prepared when it presents
Absolutely.
itself.
Absolutely. I feel like you've already answered this question, but I still want to ask it. When the darkest moments befall, where do you turn for healing?
My faith. God, it used to be the church, not the church. They need God just like I do.
Baby.
I turn to God. I turn to self, the God in me. Self-reflection is really, really big. God, where was I in this? What could I do differently? Who have I offended? Right? How can I make this better? And so it's God. My grandmother always, she had faith, crazy faith. And it was like, if you got faith, you got everything. And they said, not a mustard seed faith, the grain. You crush that mustard seed that is already small, you can't even pick the grain up. That's all you need in order to move mountains. But you got to believe. And so it's not like people like the whole genie thing, rub the genie lamp. No, it's not that. It's about applying laws that ain't changing. Applying those laws to your life, being obedient, being diligent, right? And doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And because we know.
Absolutely.
It's already in us.
Yeah, we already know it's already in us. And
Yeah.
we speak it. The more we speak life, the more the life happens. The more we speak death, the more the death or negativity or spirals happen.
We casting spells all day.
All day long.
That's crazy. At my job, it's a FedEx worker, and he always jokes like, "Oh, I hope your nails crack. I hope your nails." Just the, guys being guys. And so one of my sets started just crackling, and I'm like, "Look what you did." He was like, "I said that 2 months ago." I said, "But look, it's happening now. Like, watch your mouth, watch your words around stuff. You, and then even people hearing you say it, then they talking about it, and then it's like if 2 or 3 touch and agree, now it's something negative. You got 2 or 3 people talking about it.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta just shut up. Sometimes the Lord will make you cough and you can't breathe till you get a word out because you about to say something you ain't supposed to say. So I'm big on your words are powerful, and sometimes I shut myself up, or even I'll tell a friend like, that didn't sound too good, like rephrase that.
Yeah, she does that to me also.
And for the folks that'll be like, don't give people that much power, they ain't got that much power. If you're not being obedient and you're not in tune with self and spirit, and folks are speaking negative things around you, and you don't have enough to speak against the negative things that they may be speaking, it can take place.
Yes. Absolutely.
It can,
Especially
because
keep
words are
saying it.
power. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's casting spells all day.
Absolutely.
And so we have to be conscious. So yeah, you have to. People say stuff, I be like, and I rebuke that. No, I ain't claiming that. No.
Oh, yeah.
Keep that over there.
Or family members, don't say that.
I'll be quick to be like, oh, I rebuke. No, thank you.
No, we're not doing
thank
that.
you.
Look, that ain't my ministry, right?
No, thank you.
Definitely.
I do not receive that.
Definitely. Yeah, that's it. I don't receive that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Look, that is not in my
The
what they
funny
say in
part
the cards.
is, my man also often does that, and he thinks that he's mocking. He's like, you always go, I believe. And I'm like, yeah. And in a minute you will. He'd be like, you always talking about blessings. Yes, say them over and over and over and over again. Say it over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
And then one day you'll believe too. And trust me, it's going to catch off like wildfire, okay? Before we cut to our sponsors, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure that you share and follow Reesie as well, RP Couture, and You Are Woman Gym. Woman Gym.
Yes.
Make sure that you follow us, follow them, and keep the spirit of community and healing growing. If you know someone who is showing that they need to heal from some patterns, or that they may be in need of reallocating their time, gift them one of these books, okay? It's never a bad time to say, I appreciate you, I see you, here's something that I know can help you stay accountable to your resolutions, to your intentions, to whatever it is you set for 2026.
Yes.
Okay? Peace to our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to dive into our alignment questions because Reesie has already finished 2 glasses. So we got 2 questions ready. So has Authentic. So let's go. Let's go.
I am Doreetha Reesie Wheatley. As a designer and fashion instructor, if you're looking to partner with me, or you know a community organization that wants to partner with me to bring this life skill, the sustainable life skill to your community, you can find me at rp-couture.com. As an author and founder of Woman Gym, I offer book writing services and self-publishing services to individuals that want to tell their story. Great platform that encourages healing, and also an area where you can receive trauma healing as a trauma healing facilitator. If you're looking for any of my products or services, you can find me on Instagram at rpcouture_woman gym. God gave me 168. Facebook, RP Couture, or you can visit either one of my websites or Google Doreetha Reesie Wheatley, and you'll find me in any services I offer.
Welcome back to Building Bridges, Healing Beyond Trauma and Patterns with Reesie Wheatley, inspired author, former designer. I'm going to stay true
I'm
to what she
still a
said. Thank you.
designer.
Thank you so much.
I'm just not a seamstress anymore.
Thank you. She's just not active. She is on sabbatical right now. Okay. And entrepreneur.
Yes.
Be sure to get one of her 3 books that we've already shared, but I'll share the name one more time. Make sure I say them right. 12 Steps to Recovery from Infidelity, How to Build a Bridge and Get Over It. And God gave me 168 daily planner, which is really a daily time reallocation. Really reflect on how you're spending your time, how you're spending your aura and your energy. I love that so much. Well, Reesie has a tiny little mug.
It's so
glass.
cute.
It's studded. Yeah, thank you so much. Can you tell us what drew you to that glass? I like to ask guests that question just for kicks.
Well, one glass was just too big, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? It's small. It just seemed like, and then the juice, I never tasted it before, so I didn't want to overindulge in something that I may not like. So I felt like it was just perfect, and it's cute. I like pretty things. It's like really pretty. So I was like, this is perfect, perfect size, nice design, and then I feel like such a lady, which is also my slogan, because you're such a lady. I'm just saying, right? Okay.
So that is your capacity journey. Okay. Where are you feeling like your capacity is to receive and to give and multiply? Where are you currently aligned in your capacity journey?
You didn't see her faces
I
while
did.
you was reading the question, and I'm looking at her laughing because I'm like,
Oh, we got her this time. Yeah.
the trickery.
We always align with people and we let them choose their own glasses here.
So you got to repeat that because I was over here like, wait a
was
minute,
stuck
she
at
got me. She got me. My capacity.
Your capacity journey, where you are receiving and giving and multiplication.
As it relates to this cute little tiny cup, the kids had this song they were singing. It's like, take baby steps, take baby steps. And I've been doing this scared, and you're not gonna take a big gulp of fear. You know what I'm saying? It's something you're afraid of. You're basically gonna be like, well, let me just ease on over here a little bit to see what it feels like, right? And that's basically what my journey has been, easing over into the unknown to see what it feels like, knowing that God's plans for me are good, right? And that He got me regardless. So just taking baby steps, little small portions of everything that I indulge in, and trusting the process, learning how to trust again in so many areas. Love all, I used to say love all, trust no one. And I know that come from the hood, right? I'm an Inglewood girl, right?
Yes.
But
Inglewood.
I know all day, every day. But at the end of the day, that came from a place of trauma. And once I went through my trauma healing, I realized that there are some places that I just couldn't really stay in. And so, although I know that we're to put our trust in God, and my love all trust don't sound real good. Like, well, if I love you, you know, I ain't gonna do nothing to hurt you, right? But I don't trust nobody first I can speak, because anybody capable of anything. It's some validity to that, right? It's true, but to just walk in that as a defense mechanism, like, I'm just gonna keep everybody at bay because I don't want to get hurt again.
Then you're keeping everything at bay, including your blessings, including the things that you want.
Yes, and so just small steps of everything, even trust. You know, just small doses of everything, including trust, so that I won't overindulge in maybe the wrong thing. You know, good, bad, and ugly. We try a little of this, try a little of that. It doesn't feel right. If I didn't take on too much, I could probably back away from it quicker. You know, So I don't know.
That's wonderful. What are 3 gratitudes that you have connected to this journey that you're on?
Three gratitudes to the journey.
Yes. To your capacity journey.
I feel safe. Love. I feel like I love myself enough not to take on too much.
Yes.
That was my life story, and people, my brother's like, "You built for this cup. You've been doing this forever." Like, what? I'm built for what? To carry everything.
No.
That poem, "The Death of the Strong Black Woman," spoke volumes to
Yes.
me.
Yes.
We carry so much stuff that we ain't equipped to carry because folks telling us that's what we supposed to do. So I feel I'm grateful that I love myself now enough to say, that ain't my ministry. Or people cleaving to me, you're supposed to be a part of my tribe or my sisterhood. I said, God ain't told me that. I'm sorry. I got my tribe. I just being able to do
Absolutely.
that. So
Saying no is
super
powerful.
grateful. Yeah, learning that. It's like, how do you say no? No. And not feeling bad about it. And then being able to choose to say, I choose me. That was hard for me for a very long time because I felt that it was selfish, right? But if you're asking me to sacrifice for you more than you're willing to sacrifice for yourself, it's an easy no. Not a hard no. It's an easy no for me because I'm not tearing myself down, mind, body, or soul.
Not even a little bit.
No, you gotta want this more than I do. It's
For yourself.
You. It's for
yourself,
you.
yes.
And so that being able to say no, and I was learning in my 20s, working in corporate, how to say no. Crying in my boss's office, and he was like, I said I don't know how to say no, and he said like this, no. And I started practicing it. It didn't kill nobody.
It did not.
So yeah,
You had to get over it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Get over it.
So honored that you shared that. Okay, Authentic, you had a whiskey glass, and that is your trust journey. Combating depression, happiness, and friendship.
That's interesting. I don't know. I feel like, I probably got a little more trusting over this last year, 2025 versus 2024. 2024, I was a samurai. That's what I mean. A samurai, just cutting everything off.
Wow.
So I think this year with the podcast opening up, I'm very much a loner. I'm a Sagittarius. I will be in my own little world and stay there until I'm forced to come out of it. So I think
Until the Taurus in her life is like, get out of there.
I'm like, I'll go, but I'm gonna sit over here. But yeah, just being more trusting, being in community with more people that want to be a part of my village, creating my chosen family, and also holding boundaries with my blood family in order for them to be a part of my going forward family because I have no problem cutting people off so that they can understand the extent of how much I will stand on business about the boundary I set. So I think that has come a long way, and also trusting my co-parent more probably. My co-parent and his spouse, just being away and also getting my my first time being on my own, doing my own thing, no kid, just me. Prior to even having a kid, I didn't even have that space. So it was a very interesting journey of hearing sounds when it's just too quiet because it's just you and it's not a kid in the background. So I think trust is very interesting to get. So I wonder if I need to open up more. I feel like I did enough. Give me a little, give me a little break, or if it's a trust in a different way, like trust in a different venture of some sort. So yeah.
At least you're open to it, which
yeah. I think each episode I'm getting a little more open to these topics.
Yeah.
Except for one will always be a little trusting.
And trusting doesn't necessarily have to hurt. Trusting You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we're afraid to trust because of what may come with that. But the thing that allowed me to trust again was Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you. And so no matter what, if God's saying that he don't have plans to hurt me, right, but to prosper me and give me an expected end, and that his plans for me are good, then why do I have to worry about these trust issues?
Yeah.
God already said it. He had the final say. Hey, I put a seal of approval on this. My plans for you are good, and I change not, right? Same yesterday, today, forever. So what am I afraid of? That trust, that lack of trusting was more of me trying to protect myself,
Yeah.
you know? So
You doing like, I even think of taking accountability in your own mistrust of a situation. Like God might not have brought that person in your life. You might have brought that person in your life, and so you had to make sure you get them out in a certain way. But it also was you trusting, not trusting yourself or not trusting God. So you have to take accountability in that too.
Exactly.
And have to
Yes.
be that.
Or, not listening or seeing the red flags that are in front of you.
Make me
And
long
and
scarf.
while I was angry at the Lord and spirit, my mom and every prophetess that told me my first husband, Voldemort, was my husband, we were gonna live together forever and have kids. I can't stand Voldemort. You hear me? Can't stand him. But I would not be who I am if he had not mishandled me the way that he did. And his mishandling of me created the phoenix of who I am now. And I, in the moment, saw it as punishment. I saw it as, hell on earth, okay? I really thought I had disobeyed God and I was being punished for it. But I truly believe that he was in that, even in that. And to come out refined, I had to go through that segment of time. And so that, I feel, raised my trust and faith level. It reinvigorated it afterwards, But in the moment, I was like, all the things. The resistance was high, but you have to be willing to let it go, take the shame or the hit at your pride or ego, and then go through the stages of grief. Because now I have to grieve this thing that I thought was going to be.
Yes.
The life I thought I was going to live, the children I thought I was going to have, the places I thought I was going to go. Who knows what my life would have been as a preacher's wife?
First lady.
Knew I didn't need that, okay? Knew I didn't need that in my life. And I just cannot imagine what Netta would be if this wouldn't even be happening. If I was still with Voldemort. Wouldn't even be a thing.
And I always feel really happy when this topic comes up, being a survivor of domestic violence and the things I went through, even with the infidelity and the marriage. And in no way are we saying things like, well, accept dysfunction.
No.
Or like, well, Netta went through it and it made her better, so I'm supposed to go through this.
No.
We're saying in the event your free will gets you into a situation you feel like you can't get out of, whether it's because you feel weak or whatever the case may be, trust the process.
Yes, you can.
Trust the process. And on the other side is greatness, because you made the decision to get involved in something. Because we got free will all day, every day. We make choices. And I think that everything is cause and effect.
Yes.
And sometimes we are collateral damage. No, we are collateral damage to other people's free will.
Yes.
And so if we don't have the strength to make the decision at that moment to run for our life, to get out while we can, then God is there to
intervene and provide the lamb in the bush.
Yes.
The alternative path.
Take the lamb in the bush. You also have to get over religion. You have to get over the snares and the stares and what people are going to think about you and what they're going to say about you after you do this. I didn't give two about what they thought about me.
Right.
My peace was more important.
Amen.
I don't think I would have survived. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I would not have continued. And I knew that that was a viable option for me at that time. Yeah,
Yeah, self-preservation is the
I
first
have I
law,
had to
right?
get out, you know.
Right. You have to do what you have to do.
Yes.
You have to
Love
love
yourself.
yourself. You have to love yourself. If you don't love God and yourself, you ain't
have to
capable
love
of
yourself.
nobody else.
Yes.
And so, yeah, in that order, like
And the moment I left, I lost 190 pounds.
the way to sin. No.
You
You
say
just
we
saying.
carry the weight of people that we shouldn't have been carrying. I was carrying that.
Yeah.
And when I left, gladly threw it off the side of the road.
Yes. Yes.
Please. And the pounds that I gained from that dropped off too. Because what are we talking about? Now I feel so much healthier and freer. Okay. So you have to get to that place. My glass was a rocks glass, and that is my stability journey. And my union with earthly stability, spiritual clarity, foundations, resilience. We're talking about my inner being right now. We're talking about that growth. And so I truly feel that I'm finally embodying that, which I foresaw myself being and doing. Depression makes you see such better futures from where you like. When you don't like the present, you start envisioning great, vast, beautiful, full, abundant futures that you might not have foresaw for yourself before. And I appreciate that my previous self, whether I was at a lower state or mid vibration, whatever, but I appreciate that I still had hope, and I appreciate that I still had some clarity to know and some foundations to draw back to say, I'm going to get past this. This too shall pass. The future is brighter. Everything always works out for me. The moment I started saying affirmations to myself is what inspired the affirmation writer that I became. What inspired me to write meditations and share those meditations.
Yes.
And eventually contact you and say, hey, can you help me write a book about this experience? It took me to really seeing the healing on the other side when I didn't see it in the actual. And that is what I'm grateful for, and I appreciate that. And I'm currently embodying and living out what my past self was praying for. And I'm grateful for that as well. Yeah, right?
I love that for you.
Thank you.
I really do.
So much, really. You've shared so much here. Is there any last pieces that you want the audience to take away with that you feel they can get from your books, they can get from scheduling some trauma healing with you, or through your organization? Any last pieces to help us get beyond our trauma and our patterns and live more abundant, fulfilling, healing lives in 2026 and beyond?
What I'm hearing is we have to be willing to do the work, and we have to be honest and transparent with ourselves first. That me understanding that I needed to shift didn't come until I had an encounter and realized that there were some things from my past that was haunting me that I had to let go of. And it took God sending someone else, another woman, to call me out on it. And it was so unexpected. It was so unexpected, but it really shifted my perspective. Most of my journey has been a fight for love because I was told that true love didn't exist. I was told that at 11 years old, and I did not realize that my entire life, all of my rebellion, all men are dogs, the mistrust, all of these things that was inside of me came from other people's opinions. And I believed it, right? And so then I'm fighting this battle that wasn't even mine to fight because I didn't think like that. I dreamed of the happily ever after.
Absolutely.
And it real briefly, it was in a holistic place, and it was just a little place on 55th. It was a husband and wife who ran it. They did colonics and different things like that. And my cousin and I were there, and we were all just talking. And a elderly woman came in, And so we're talking, and the husband is trying to get a word in. He couldn't get a word in because the women just, yeah. And the spirit said, sit on the floor and listen to him. And I said, if I sit on the floor, that means I got to look up to this man and hear what he's saying. And I told the spirit, no. So we continued to talk all over this man that was in the presence of us. So I already knew that there was a standard as a wife, right? Person married to God, one that's supposed to do things the right way, decent and in order. And I said no, because I don't view men that way. Because my experiences made my mama right. All men are dogs. If you think somebody gonna be faithful to you, be prepared to be by yourself. I wanted to prove her wrong. So the elderly woman say, excuse me, there is a man in our presence and you guys are disrespecting him. You're talking all over him. You're not letting him get a word in. And so now I'm convicted, right? Because the spirit already told me, reverence this man. This is a man in your a real man in your presence, and y'all disrespecting him. And she looked at me. She said, young lady, where is your father? I said, oh no. When I tell you, I was like, I did not come here for this. And I went on and on about, we not about to do this. I got tired of whom much is given, much is required. All these things I've been hearing. And she saw me as a child, 4 years old, in a corner balled up, feeling rejected. And I knew what she was talking about. As a child, I was given away. And then my mom got me back when I was about 4 years old. And then I got rejected from my siblings. And it's not that they didn't like me. They didn't understand how my cousin become my sister. And why you spoiling her? Why she get everything she want? So I experienced a lot of rejection. And that was starting to mold me. My formative years, right? Starting to mold me into who I was going to be. And I did not realize that until I was in my 30s when I sat in that room when the spirit spoke to me. And then I was disobedient. But he said, okay, you won't do it? Okay, get somebody else. And she told me all about myself. The biggest part was that she asked that woman. And I'm going to say this. I'm just learning this. I could say this about me now because I was like, I'm so modest. And Felicity said, don't confuse insecurity with modesty. My daughter told me that about 2 years ago. Like, what you mean? I didn't see myself the way people saw me. But I'm saying, yes, I'm an attractive woman. I've been an attractive woman. So I was younger and slimmer. And so I was probably cuter. Mm-hmm. And so here I am, this cute old thing. And this lady asked this man in front of his wife, can he hug her? And that wife, who was a woman of God, obviously, said yes. And her husband stood up and hugged me. And the first time in my life, I felt love from a man. It didn't feel lustful. It felt like the love of a father. It was pure. And that changed my perception of, it changed my perception of how I viewed men. They weren't all dogs. They weren't all out for one thing. I didn't feel an ounce of lust from that man. And I think it broke something in me. And then it changed me. And
imagine if you had actually sat on the floor to listen to him. That hug would have been even like it would have just broke so much more.
Yeah. So yeah, just be willing to do the work, be obedient, and surround yourself with the right people. Build that bridge to get over to the other side. Do an evaluation on yourself. Walk yourself through a 12-step process to get over something. Starting with the first step, admitting that there's a problem. Yes. And remember to take the time, reallocate your time for better use. God gave all us 168 hours. We got time. Yes. The thing is, do you want to create the time or take the time to do what you're supposed to? Do you even believe that's what you're supposed to be doing? Because if you believe it, the time is there.
Yes. Co-creation takes work.
Yes. Yep. That's it.
Hey, I'm Authentic. Authentic Capsule is my videography editor and producer name. I decided to make my long-term hobby of being behind the camera my business. I love being on sets of a podcast taping, filming a good old Chicago prom, or taking pictures for a good family friend. Maybe even it's a family event that you want pictures and videos for. I'm the person for you. Book Authentic Capsule so I can capture you.
This week's challenge is the Cross Your Healing Bridge. Reflect on a reoccurring pattern, thought, or obstacle in your life. And in the comments, share how your life could transform if you overcame this challenge. Envision freedom, peace, joy, or stronger relationships. Use the bridge emoji as a symbol that healing is a journey, and with each step bringing you closer to completion. Take the hashtag Healing Bridge Challenge. Again, that's hashtag Healing Bridge Challenge further and add the foot emoji detailing your concrete first steps towards this transformation. See you in the comments.
That's the time. I mean, there are more questions to ask her, but I'm not going to keep her for 2 hours or keep y'all for 2 hours. If you want more from Reesie, you have to go get her at RP Couture or Woman Gym. Okay, you're going to have to find her yourself. Yes. All right. But in the meantime, remember, you are powerful, you are worthy, and you are truly the vibe. Until next time, keep going with the tribe.
This is Oasis. Tribe with the vibes. Let's grow. Together we thrive. Let's a good vibe flow.